broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. Perfection, expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Halas Call Report. Week 8 has come. It has gone. It has been something else. And we're in that last week or so of the trade deadline. So there's a lot going on, and there's not much going on at the same time. Bears have made no moves as of this airing. One of the linemen that Mike and I had talked about is off the board, gone to Minnesota from Jacksonville. The only other team that's really said, hey, the shop is open is New England. Carolina says the shop's not open, then they trade a receiver away. So go figure that one. But gentlemen, how you doing? Of course, we got Woody with us this evening. Good evening, Woody.
Yo, fuck it.
We got Bear Down Mike.
What's going on?
And Mike, the Bear fan producer, Mike is still at work. They're moving buildings today, I guess. All right, so let's just get into week 8. First off, let me give some shout outs here. Week 8. Commander's Corner. Let me see if it pops up. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Commander's Corner tailgate. Thank you for having us. We really enjoyed the time with you guys. They have a great little tailgate. Thank you to Billy Defense Flores. I mean, look, they even do the buns, guys. For the hookup, we had a great time tailgating with them. Great group of people. The experience there in DC was pretty cool. Tailgating area was nice. Tons of Bears fans. Tons of Bears. We traveled well. It was probably about a 60-40 mix. Something else they do really cool there. It's Northwest Stadium there. Once you get inside, they got a USO. They call it a USO section. It was like they had barbecue, all you could eat, 2 free beers. Dude, it's $17 a beer in the stadium. That's a nice little savings. So, needless to say, between the tailgate and the USO section, we were well fed. There were another bunch of Bears fans that we met out there. Dude, you saw this everywhere. Bears tents, Bears fans all over. It was a very big Bears crowd there in Maryland for the game. So that was the pregame. Then the game started. Was anyone surprised by the slow start on the first drive?
Nope, not at all.
I wasn't surprised of us losing. We had to come back again.
It's like defensively, I was pleased that we just gave up the field goal, right, on that first drive, because it's been a touchdown. You know, with the first half in general, defensively, I was considering no Brisker, no Gordon, which definitely we felt the impact of. Sweat obviously wasn't 100%, as he ended up leaving the game with the shin at later in the late third, early fourth. Definitely felt them not being there. I didn't feel like the defense was as aggressive as it normally is. Did we even have a sack?
Yeah, Sweat had a sack.
Yeah, Sweat had a sack.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah,
like
Jaden broke the pocket and Sweat got him down.
that was it. That was it. I mean, the pressure wasn't sustained. It was like he just had time. He had time to operate. His offensive line
I think we ended
gave
with
him time to operate. Jaden Daniels had time. There was a one sack I thought we had him like where he jumped like he had eyes in the back of his head.
Oh,
Right.
We had two sacks. TJ
And
had
it was-
one.
All right. It didn't feel like it. It felt like he had all kinds of time back there. Conversely, on the offense, in the first half, it felt like they weren't in rhythm. Caleb was getting rushed. A couple of balls he threw right in our direction. It just looked like he was just trying to get it out of his hands before he took a sack and put in a place where if his receiver could be Superman, great. If not, hey, at least we didn't take the sack. That's what it felt like in the stadium. What did you guys see at home on TV?
It seemed like he was very nervous because of the what was going on with the number 1 versus number 2. You could tell his nerves were taking advantage of him in the first. He was only what 10 of 21 or 10 of 31 or something like that for 131 yards. That's not good. That's not good.
A lot of passes that were thrown away. Seemed like he was only in the game.
because even when he was open, he missed a lot. He threw it behind him. Threw it. I mean that throw to Keenan Allen, he threw it like 5 yards over his head.
Yeah, that's when they were coming towards the end zone. I think I was sitting in, but I remember he got hit as he threw that too, or right after he threw it. I think it was what we saw in week 1 and 2. The pressure kind of got him. Now, so at halftime, what was it? 9-0 at half.
9-0.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay. Now here's something that's funny. Why does it feel like when you're at the game, halftime felt like it flew by, but when you're at home, halftime feels like it takes forever?
Because you're involved in the stadium. That's why. Talking to people, looking around, walking around. When you're here, you're like, what the fuck? You're sitting in the same spot.
I go to the fridge and grab a sandwich.
I watch Red Zone, so the halftime show goes pretty damn quick.
Yeah, it does on Red Zone for sure. Second half, the one thing I will say about the first half, the Bears did not give up on the run game. Swift was averaging almost 4 yards a carry.
The only bright spot.
Yeah. The passing game wasn't there. I was hoping that the passing game would get there with the running game playing. It just didn't materialize. Dude, I don't know what's up with their offensive line. I just don't know.
I just don't agree with the at the goal line, dude. You have Roshan. Give it to the fucking kid.
Oh well, yeah, we'll get to we'll get to the fourth quarter. I'm talking before the first half. Just in the first half
established the run that sets up for the play action. We didn't see much of that.
No.
We saw a lot of shotgun. When Braxton went out, well, what's his name? The guy we just drafted. What the hell is Amagaji?
And he's hurt.
He was getting bull rush. He didn't know. He looked like he never played the game before.
And I'll tell you what, like they get loud on third down there. I don't know how that announcer has a voice. The way he screams third down, they get pretty loud. But first and second down, the noise I don't think was much of a factor. Third down, they would ramp up their noise level. But I guess that's true pretty much everywhere. But it was pretty darn loud. But it just seemed like they established the run and they couldn't build on it. And the Rook, that might be part of it. But that line, just the feel I got sitting there was like every time we snapped the ball, I was just waiting for a sack.
And what, Jenkins went down 3 times as well?
Yeah.
So halftime, Bears made some adjustments. Okay, now they're coming at my end zone in the third quarter. Believe it or not, Swift ran right at me. Like literally, he was like what 10 feet in front of me. That was 7 rows up. So he ran. That was the line I was sitting on. What a run! And the place changed. The Bears fans came to life. We had a game. I lost my voice. um, it was a great run. It was a great run. Put us right back in the game. At that point, now it's what 7-9. We're back in it. Um, defense stiffened a little bit.
I think we were at 12-7.
It was 12-7.
12-7. 12-7. Yeah, they got another field goal. That's right. 12-7. But the stadium came to life as far as the Bears fans, and the defense kind of got a little bit better too because we started to get some outs. You know, they weren't just all field goal attempts. Their punter, good job. Both punters did a great job.
Yep.
Third quarter though seemed like we started to get some traction, right? Was the DJ Moore catch? Was that in the third or the fourth?
That was the fourth.
That was the fourth because
Let's talk about the third quarter, not the fourth, Ken. We already.
Yeah. So third quarter, we get the touchdown. Okay, cool. It felt like the line was still iffy like that. The one they lost, they got a field goal range. No, that was in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. What's the fourth quarter? The sack that they're in field goal range. Caleb escapes and then loses like another 7 yards.
Yeah.
I was like, at first, I was like, oh my God, he escaped. And then, they got it. I just.
He's doing what Justin. He's doing what Justin did. If he had time and you're getting bum rushed, throw it the fuck out of bounds.
Well,
throw it out.
I don't think he had the time in his.
The second time
that's what I just said. Justin didn't have time either, and he would take the sack.
I thought like he got out of the first one before he could even get his footing fully and get himself into a position to launch the ball. He was hit again. Like at first, like oh my God, he's gonna get out, and oh fuck.
When you think about it, this is one of the games we could have used Justin's ability. Right? He was getting rushed so many times. Justin would have got out. Just go.
So I think that would have changed the game, Mike. I think you got a point with that because the one thing I love about Caleb that Justin didn't do is when he's scrambling and getting away from sacks, he's still looking to throw the ball downfield, right? He's looking for the receiver, and he doesn't necessarily take off. Now, look, he had some decent little times where he did take off, but if he would take off sooner, he could probably bust some big plays. But he's still looking to throw the ball. So I love that. But I get what you're saying. Like, he needs to maybe take a little piece from Justin's book and sometimes just go.
Well, okay, because those would set up. I mean, that's how we beat them last season, right? RPOs, Justin gets a nice little run. Now they got to watch out. They're not going to rush because they rush. Justin will get out and gone.
I think it would serve him
that's the kind of ability we were missing. That's what we were missing, the run. Except for that one from Swift. Other than that,
it might serve him well to maybe just take off and run every now and then and stop looking for the pass. But don't do it to the point where you become Justin and lose that.
Right.
But
I love how Caleb looks like every time he runs off, he's still looking. We've seen it twice already. Once to Cole when it broke down. Then we just saw it Sunday with Keenan. Keenan didn't even have a route.
Yeah.
He was just open.
Yep.
Like that's what we like to see.
Caleb seemed to play well in the fourth quarter. I mean, look at the drive where he gets knocked out of field goal range, notwithstanding the next two drives though, drives into the end zone. And this is where Woody gets to be mad. And okay, so here's the thing from my perspective on this play, on the fumble.
Well,
I'm about 100.
Can I talk about one before that?
Yeah.
The 4th and 1, the quick pass
DJ?
to DJ.
Oh my God,
that was ridiculous.
So, I kind of thought they would just give it to Roshan too.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to figure there. But you got to figure DJ. That's kind of like his calling card is Like, I was kind of surprised.
That's part of the game, though.
I was surprised that DJ didn't get it. I didn't expect to throw. I thought they were going to run it. Most of the people I was sitting with thought they were going to run it.
Normally they would.
So that's one of those. If it worked,
we could be talking about a whole different ball game.
That's one of those plays, though, Mike. If it worked, like we probably wouldn't even have mentioned that play. But because it didn't work, we're talking about it. Because
Right.
no one expected it. And then they come down, they miss a field goal attempt on that after that, don't they? No,
that was 4th and 1.
No,
They
but
never got back in.
I'm talking about Washington. No, they didn't. Okay,
Oh, Washington, no.
But then the next drive, he takes him down to the 1. That was the big throw to DJ that sets it up. DJ comes out, hurt, comes back in the game. He probably just got his win knocked out, whatever. Yeah. And this is the play that I know Woody's going to go off on. It's like, and so I wasn't upset at the time because I'm 110, 120 yards away, right, in the 7th row of the end zone on the opposite side. In fact, when the play happened, we all had to look at the scoreboard to see what the hell happened.
Why is everybody mad?
After the game, well, no, like we understood it was a fumble, but we didn't know how that it all transpired. Like also we heard the noise, and then you see the Redskins with the ball, and we're like, okay, what happened? Everyone's looking at the screen. The backup center?
Yeah. The fact that they've been practicing that scares me. Because we just had a guy in Kari Blasingame. You know what? You could have done that with him.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get. We'll talk about that after the game. After we talk about the game with the customer, obviously we're gonna have a lot of time. And look at the replays. Like he almost pushed the ball forward. Like it is like.
You see him, open it up to hold. It's just like flew out of his hands.
My thing though is like Roshan is 1,000% at that down and distance to the red zone.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like a Marshawn. It's like a Marshawn Lynch moment. Just give him the damn rock.
Right.
Oh my god.
Because that was 1st and goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep,
yeah.
First. Yeah, but oh man, listen.
The players mentioned that too. I know Cole and Matt, DJ mentioned that kind of play.
When you're losing, okay, and your offense is doing shit, don't hand it off to the offensive lineman. Give it to Roshan first and let him score, and we would have been ahead, and then bam. But that fumble fucked us up.
Hell, I would have been happy with Komet. Jesus, come on. Anybody else but
I agree with you. If they score that touchdown, it's a whole different feel of that game.
Or a QB sneak.
But I mean,
tush push.
The only thing I can think of is like they obviously practiced it enough and felt comfortable with him doing it that they called the play, right? So he just fucked it up.
I mean, the Bears are already getting knocked for play calling, and then you do that. I mean, and nobody expects the fumble, but you got to take the lead.
That's the
you
got
to take
who
the lead.
does that shit?
It's first
Detroit
down.
does that stupid shit.
You know what? It's first
down. But they
down,
do it when they're up.
It's first down. So if he doesn't get in, it's like, okay, fine. As long as he doesn't lose yardage, he doesn't get fine, he still can go. If he gets in, you look good. Right? Like, okay, because he's a big, beefy guy, they push him through the pile. It looks good. But when he goes to receive the ball and basically throws it at the pile,
Dude,
it looks bad.
You know who's laughing right now? Blasingame. I swear to God, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking assholes, good for you.
So they give it the fumble. And here's the other thing about being at the game versus Washington. They give the fumble. Washington moves down the field. They get in the field goal range. We thought it was a block sitting in the stands when they missed it.
Yeah.
We thought it was a block. It wasn't. Seeing the replay, he just flubbed it.
Yeah,
there you go, Judge.
He hit it in the middle instead of below to kick it up. He hit it right in the middle of it.
Just flubbed it.
Yeah.
So Caleb again drives him downfield. At this point, Bears fans are just rocking. Get the touchdown, stadium goes nuts. Of course, Roshan batting 1,000, touchdown, great. It was so loud, you barely even knew the 2-point conversion was happening. Right? It was so loud in that stadium. 2-point conversion, we get it. What, 30 seconds left.
Speaking of that 2-point, we should have done that with Komet on that first and goal. Why don't you try doing that first?
Yeah, instead of that run.
Little shovel pass.
So, look, if they score that first touchdown,
dude, that was a fucking Kansas City Chiefs score right there on that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
If they score
the first touchdown and then stop the Commanders and go down and score another touchdown, game over, right? There's no anything after that. There would have been a 2-score lead. We'd be talking the praises of Caleb marching them down to score twice in the fourth quarter. Instead they return the kick, take 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. We're like, okay, thank you, because the field position was actually worse than if you let it go through the end zone. So they get 2 plays. The first play, which got an additional 10, 12 yards, and he steps out.
No, the first one was to Ertz, and it hit the ground.
Yeah.
And then the second play was the 13 yards.
The 13 yards.
They backed off.
Now,
where the fuck were you all week? Sorry.
We were, at that point, defensively, we were set up for the Hail Mary already.
They were set up the 13-yard reception from McLaurin. Yeah.
Well, even the guy on the TV says, hey, they have enough time to get it up past the 50 or a little bit before the 50, and then throw the Hail Mary. It's like, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah, Tony Romo. Yeah, he called it.
Yeah. So the defensive setup on that play was just all wrong. They were set up for the Hail Mary. And then, here's the view from my seat, guys.
Thanks, Ken. I need to fucking see that again.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
That a billion times on TikTok.
Yeah, no, come on. The fuck.
He had all kinds of time. Now look, I think that there were some flaggable offenses maybe on their O-line, but whatever.
They're not going to do that during a Hail Mary.
On a Hail Mary, they're not going to call it.
Yeah, they're most likely getting a pass interference call on that play instead of holding on the fucking offensive line.
My wife. I turned the camera off, then I real quick turned it back on, and I turned to my wife. My wife is sitting there like this. Over her face, eyes are just bug eyed. Like, did you just see that? And everyone was like, did you just? And even the receiver, I was like, the receiver looked like when he caught the ball, he just kind of walked to the back of the end zone, like, I really have the ball in my hand. Did this just happen? Yep. Like, he was in shock. Even the Commanders fans were going crazy, but everyone was just in shock. The players on the field were on shock. I mean, everyone was just kind of like, really? So as the play was happening, because if I'm looking at the field, I'm on the right. Tyreek was on the left. On my left, I didn't see Tyreek jaw jack. Now the fans were sitting on there, hey, they just hiked the ball. He turns around and gets into the play. He was the one who actually tipped the ball. Yeah. If he got, we always say the game's about a game of inches. If his vertical was about a half inch higher, that ball falls forward and not backwards.
Wasn't his job to knock it down.
Whose job was it to knock it down?
It was Kevin Byers' job. Tyreek was supposed to box out Noah Brown. That was his job.
Yeah, he boxed him out, all right. Fucked it up. His fucking own box. He has a box, probably.
It's something we talked about before the show that I think was a good question is, for the Hail Mary, why aren't you putting Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet?
That's what I just said. Get Colin Johnson up here. Just get him off the practice squad. Yeah. Tallest receiver in the league, man.
What they should have done on that play to carry McLaurin for 13 yards, I can't remember. It might have been a Keyshawn Johnson. Well, he was talking about, he's like, we do a picket fence. You line everybody up on the outside of the numbers towards the sideline. That way they can't go anywhere out of bounds.
Same thing.
They're
Same
forced to
same
throw it
thing
in the
they do.
middle.
Yeah, same thing they do on an onside kick. What do? Who do they put up front? The best hands people.
Hand
You know,
Yep.
get Colin Johnson up here now and fuck it. Oh, he could have.
Now, I mean,
done.
look at here's the thing. That play is 99% luck.
I'll be right back.
Yep. That play was still 99% luck, 1% skill. I mean, the ball had, like I said, if Stevenson's a half inch higher on his jump, that ball goes forward, game's over. We're all happy the Bears win.
Well, if you see it slow mo where his hand was pointing back. It wasn't pointing up straight.
Yeah, but he was falling backwards a little bit too.
Probably because of his taunting.
Well, I think it's because
his head would have been in the game.
Now, when everyone jumped up, they were all kind of falling back, and he got pushed back with it. But that's part of the luck piece too. Just like everything, Commanders fans after the game, we tailgated after the game because getting out of stadium parking lots, forget it.
No, I never went to a game.
And they were all just like, one guy's like, I've been coming to games for 20 years, never seen anything like it. Yeah. That game was something else. But I mean, look, there's some positives. Like Caleb being able to take him down the field like he did in the fourth quarter was a positive because we don't normally get that. Justin Fields doesn't do that. The last guy who could possibly do that maybe was Jay Cutler. I mean, but he moved them at the end of the game, put the team in a position to win up by 3. It took a Hail Mary, which was 99% luck, 1% skill to win that game, take that game. The feel of that atmosphere of that stadium was a playoff game. It felt like a playoff game. So the question now becomes, what do we do going forward? And when do we get some of these guys that dude, Brisker not playing, we felt that. Brisker
Gordon, because Gordon does some of those cornerback blitz.
Yes. Tyreek did a pretty decent. They did a pretty decent. Look at it. They started off the game, I think, with Jalen on Scary Terry, and Stevenson was on Ertz, and they were getting to Ertz a lot early. So
the couple of plays they had Terrell Smith on Scary Terry.
Yeah, Ertz was killing us in the first half, and then they kind of shut him down in the second half for the most part. Scary Terry had that one big catch.
Yeah, Stevenson was covering him.
Yeah, but minus that one big catch, he had some catches, but they weren't big plays. He wasn't the one who was killing us. It was Zach Ertz. And then they put Jalen Johnson on Ertz in the second half. And Ertz,
I think Jaden Daniels was killing us too because those third down plays that he was, rushed out of the pocket and he decided to run that one play. He faked TJ Edwards out like nothing.
Yeah, he used his legs great. We didn't have an answer for it. We didn't have an answer for it. He got, there were a couple times like they had everyone buttoned up. He had no one to throw to, but there was no one to get him once he escaped contained. No one. Conversely, for Caleb, if he could escape, there was another guy right there in his face.
Yep.
So going forward this week, I know we got some injuries. Woody, what's the injury report look like?
Injury report. I just had it. Okay. So our buddy from Yale, Karan, he didn't practice. Brisker didn't. Gordon, Jones, Sweat didn't practice. Ryan Bates had limited practice. He's liable to come back this week. Tevin Jenkins, he was limited, and Larry Borum, he was full practice today. So not too many. I want to see how Ryan Bates does because that was our big offensive signing for the line. So hopefully that, he plays and that could help us out because Arizona is just like, you think about it, it's just like Washington with one more weapon. You got Marvis Harrison Jr., you got Christian Kirk, And plus, you have James Conner, that I think he's a better runner than Brian Robinson Jr. is. So we
Robinson
have
Jr. had some good runs.
we have a game ahead of us this week as well, and it's in Arizona.
So, I mean, do you think that Bates and Borum coming back, though? I hate to go back and forth between topics a little bit, but do you think that Bates and Borum, if they return, might be a reason why Poles doesn't do any shopping this week?
I don't know about Borum.
He needs to be shopping.
I don't know about Borum. Bates. I think we need one more offensive lineman.
We need
With
a tackle.
we don't know how long Braxton Jones is going to be out for. We need an offensive lineman believe it or not, Tevin Jenkins, when he's healthy, he's a beast. But he went down 3 times last week, so he's injury prone to me. So we need another offensive lineman.
The thing about Tevin, though, at least his PFF grades were phenomenal. You're right. But I think the health issue with him has been better this year than in previous years. He might miss a series versus a game. I'm cool with that because you should have a guy you can rotate in for a series to give him that respite to get back out there and perform. Tevin Jenkins, I'll say I'm happier with now than I have been in the past because while he's still injury prone, he's out for a series maybe, but we're not having to replace him with someone for a game, right? I mean,
if Bates plays, Shelton's out. Is that what we're saying?
Shelton hasn't played bad, has he?
I'm just saying with Bates being, center as well.
Well, isn't Bill Murray hurt too as well?
Well,
he was hurt in Caddyshack.
Bates was supposed to be the right guard.
Bill Murray.
Bates was going to be our starting right guard.
Okay.
And then he got hurt. So I don't know if you put him in at the right guard immediately. I guess you could, or work him in.
I would like to work him in and see, don't overload the guy since he just came back.
Because what's his name? Who's been playing right guard the last couple weeks? Has been playing pretty decent overall. Pryor played pretty decently.
Yeah, he can punch too.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. We got some guys who are pretty decent that we're happy with. They just aren't getting it done as a unit. They haven't gelled as a unit like we thought they might have. I mean,
do we have any guards or centers that played the tackle position? That's my biggest concern.
Borum.
Has Shelton played tackle? Has Bates played tackle?
No, Borum has, and that's why you might.
Yeah,
let's see. In the left tackle service.
There's a reason he doesn't get much playing time too.
If Jones is out, more of a concern for me though is if Brisker and Gordon. I mean, Brisker and Gordon, if they miss another game,
dude, covering Marvin Harrison Jr. and Christian Kirk, forget about it, man.
I mean, if they miss, and if Sweat is out with that ankle.
But the thing is, I'm thinking about this. Even though with Brisker and Gordon out last week, the only touchdown we gave up was the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they were still good. They were bend but not break, but they gave up. There were times that if those guys had been in, it would have been a 3 and out, and they wouldn't have gotten to get to the field goal opportunity. Credit
I don't
to
care
the
what
guys
anybody says. That Hail Mary was luck.
It was.
Oh yeah, that's all luck. Yeah.
It was
an onside kick.
Luck.
Hey, an onside kick is luck too.
Yeah. 99%.
All those yards. What he throw? 308 yards, Daniel?
No, 326 with the Hail Mary.
With the Hail Mary. All right. Yep. You take the Hail Mary. You take that deep shot to McLaurin out.
Yeah.
He did really
well.
That was 61 yards.
They look at the Bears defense for being down Brisker and Gordon. I don't want to disparage them. They did really well. But I don't think they get a couple of those field goal opportunities even if those guys are there because you might have gotten some 3 and outs because having Gordon do a safety blitz on Jaden Daniels, which we really didn't do in the game, would have made an impact. Or he would have at least chased him down faster than a D lineman did.
They did do it once with Blackwell, and you know who got the sack? Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
They tried it one time with Blackwell, and it worked. I don't know why they didn't go back to it.
But missing those guys did have an impact in the overall.
Yeah.
I hope Brisker's good, man. I mean, the funny thing about the Brisker injury. You got to go back to week 6 for that, right?
Yes, two.
No,
He
week 5.
got hurt
That
a
was the
week
Panther.
before.
That was the Panther.
He
game,
got
wasn't it?
hurt a week before the bye week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the Panther.
So
game.
this was his third weekend without a game.
No,
Second
Was it
with
the
the bye.
yeah, it was the Panther because he didn't go to London.
Right, he missed the London game, bye week.
Then it was the
he
bye
obviously
week.
didn't play,
Yep.
and then he missed this week. So he's missed 3 weekends now
Huh.
with the concussion. So I mean, he missed more time than Tua.
Well, Tua missed 4 weeks, didn't he? 4
3.
games.
He started practicing last week already.
Yeah.
I thought when he gets put on the IR concussion protocol, it's 4 weeks.
Yeah, but he started practicing. So that's what I'm saying. Like we're at that point now with Brisker, aren't we?
So he should be
Pretty close.
practicing this week, but he
Should.
didn't practice today.
No, so he still hasn't been cleared out of protocol.
That makes me concerned.
Unless
more than what they're telling
they're
us.
holding him out. I mean, for injury,
A
once
different injury and just
maybe
clean his concussion.
I'll see. I would like to see if he now if he doesn't practice tomorrow or Friday, then there's an issue.
I mean, that game Sunday was a great game all around. Playoff atmosphere. It took a luck play to win it for them. For me, the big takeaway was even with as hard as the offense had of a time of doing anything, Caleb was able to put him in scoring position not once but twice late in the game when it mattered. So coming into this next week, I'm fairly confident in Caleb. I'm fairly confident in the offense. There's always going to be a play or two in a game that if it doesn't go well, we bitch about it. But if it went well, we'd never even talk about it. Just like there are plays that go well that we don't talk about that if they hadn't, we'd probably be talking about, but we don't even remember them because they went well. So, I mean, overall, I'm happier this season with the offensive play calling, with the exception of the first quarter. My complaint on this Bears team this year, from week 1 through now, has been the first quarter performance. Like, what's it going to take for this team not to start so damn slow?
Well, for one, for the first 3 games, they weren't scripted.
The script didn't matter either, though.
No, script doesn't matter either. They don't seem to want to establish a run in the beginning. They want to pass as quick as possible.
Yeah, they want 2 or 3 quick passes to get them in rhythm, right? Get them in rhythm. I would not be against a swift run, and a swift run, even if you're 3 and out, or a pass and 2 runs or a better combination thereof.
Like they should start small, right? Get
Right.
to the 30 or the 40. Get in field goal range.
Or heck, at this point,
I think
just
people will be
go for
happy
a
at least with that.
just go for a 30-yard play on first and 10 on the first play.
Oh, yeah, last season we saw that a lot with Justin.
Yeah, go for a 30-yard shot right off the bat. Talk about getting you in
got
rhythm.
some quick guys that could do that.
Because Rome's been making some nice catches and showing ability to get separation. DJ has not been getting the separation this year he got last year. He's still getting some decent separation, but Keenan made some great plays across. Go for a 30-yard play on first down and see if that changes your luck. Because to me, it seems like the defense starts flat too, and they start flat because the offense starts flat. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, they start off flat, and the situational football has me concerned, especially with Flus and his decisions and Waldron. I mean, there's been 4 games that we should have won. We had an over 90% chance of winning, and it came down to coaching. That is ridiculous.
You know what, though? It's good. I'm happy you mentioned that, because let's go back to the Indianapolis game. We bitched because 4th and 1, and they tried to run it 4 times and failed. And now we're bitching because they didn't run it.
Are you talking about the goal line?
Yeah.
When they were, the quarterback option, that was just the dumbest play to call.
But the fact, in the Colts game, we bitched because it was first, the goal line, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and goal. They tried to run it all 4 times, and now we're bitching because they didn't run it with Roshan. There's a little irony there. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with you to a degree.
When you think about it, we weren't running I formation with Kramer at that time. Right? As soon as they put in Kramer, it started working. So knowing your personnel probably is a big problem with Waldron because he likes using his guys, right? In the first 3 games, who do we ever see? Gerald Everett, Travis Homer, all his guys that he knew back in Seattle.
And that's
normal.
And hey, real quick, Jermaine, I see you there. Jermaine
we
says
all
he was disappointed. Yeah, I just want to acknowledge Jermaine before we yeah, I mean,
Jermaine, I wasn't disappointed, Jermaine. I didn't yell or nothing.
I agree with you, Mike. I think that's kind of like I kind of expected that a little bit, but now, so I mean, look at coming now with these next 2 games before we hit division play. What's the byline for this coaching staff? I don't think they're on the hot seat per se. You're still 4-3, right? You're still right now. We're the 8th team out of top 7 in the playoffs. We're sitting number 8.
We have the hardest schedule. We have the hardest schedule the rest of the year.
I say it's lukewarm. Lukewarm. It all depends because if you think about it, if it comes down to Commanders or us in the playoffs, they have the tiebreaker.
Well, it wouldn't matter. They get the home. Look, we're not going to get a home game.
I'm not saying they win the East. I'm saying if they just get to the playoffs.
Oh, that's
probably the only way they win the East. That's best news for us.
That's the only way they're going to get in. The rest of the East is
But if they don't win the East, but we have the tiebreaker between them, they get in and we get eliminated.
Right. But I mean, the way it's looking right now is they're going to probably win the East, and that's right now.
Okay.
Who's the other
same
team?
Same thing for the Cardinals, though.
Yeah,
they're winning the West right now. What if they don't win the West? If we lose to them, they hold the tiebreaker. See what I'm saying? Like, you have to beat these teams in your division.
Like right now, we're tied with. Well, we're ahead of, but we're with a game less. We're a half game ahead. We're in the 8th position. The Eagles are actually 5-2.
Yeah.
So they're
because you're on that bye week.
Yeah. No, we both played 7 games. They had a bye week. Their bye week.
Oh.
Well. The Commanders are 6-2. So we're a full game behind the Eagles. We're a half game ahead of the Bucks, the Niners, and the Seahawks, and we're a full game ahead of the Rams, the boys, and then at 2-6, you got the Saints and the Giants, and 1-7.
Listen, we got to win these next 2 games going into these division games. We're fucked. Plain and simple.
We got to be
all
Arizona,
these
New England.
Yeah, all these stats saying we're this, that, this. We got to win these next 2 games. If not, we're fucked.
Here's the interesting
we can beat Green Bay. They almost lost to Jacksonville.
Well, here's the interesting thing, though. We have an 8-game home winning streak, but we're 0-for on the road this year. Right? All our losses are on the road. This is a road game coming up.
Flus is 3-17.
So we're on the road against Arizona.
Yep.
Then we're at home for 3 games: the Pats, the Packers, and the Vikings.
Yeah, but those division games you guys were talking about this morning.
Yeah,
you got to throw the record out the window.
Yeah, you kind of do. So if we
those games are tough.
I think this next game is the most crucial because if we can't beat the Cardinals on the road and we cannot win road games, then it's an 8-9 season or a 9-8 season, right? If let's say we only win home games, can't win on the road, it's a 9-8 season. Which ironically, if we do that, is pretty much right in the ballpark where we all said we'd be between 9 and 10 games. If we can beat Arizona and hold serve at home, we're going to win 10 games. We're definitely within striking distance of being a 10-win team, so which is what we all kind of predicted when the season started. But this Arizona game, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean,
Well, they don't have a pass rush. Their pass rush is terrible. They've had 1 sack in the last 3 games. That's horrible. But probably against us, they'll have like 3 or 4.
And I think Arizona's, believe it or not, I think they're a better team than Washington with their offensive weapons. Kyle Murray,
Their secondary is not as good.
it's and James Conner's better than Brian Robinson Jr. So I don't know, man.
So what you're
And
saying, yeah, but
we know this team because we played them last year.
Their defense. Well, we played look at the Commanders. It was funny because like talking to Commander fans, it was like I was surprised. I told them I was surprised your defense was that good. You got rid of your 2 best pass rushers at the trade deadline last year, and they're like, yeah, but what we did do, and they love this new ownership group. They said they went out and signed a bunch of guys who just want to be here on 1-year deals. And they are a legit good defense.
They got a lot of veteran guys.
But what you think about these teams that are going in to play us, they're going to say, and we have a weak offensive line. They're going to do a totally different defensive scheme.
Yeah.
With this offensive line. So these teams might suck on getting sacks and stuff like that. But if they know they're going up against our defensive line, these defensive coordinators are going to be like, fuck you, we're going to blitz.
The Commanders' defense has been good all season. I mean, they've been doing really good all season. So
they've been solid. Their secondary is terrible.
They're solid. They're solid. They've been a solid defense. So this wasn't exactly.
They're terrible against the run.
It wasn't this game. And we still averaged 4 yards, and Swift broke and Swift break the hurdle. Oh my God.
The hurdle. Dude.
That
and the Cardinals are horrible against the run too. And who they have? Buda Baker in the back? That's about it.
When Swift did that hurdle, the whole stadium went crazy. But
I loved it because there was the guy he hurdled, and there's like 3 or 4 other guys.
He almost broke it, yeah.
From Washington around him when he did that.
I mean,
I was like, dude, he got posterized.
So what we were able to run against Washington, but their pass rush was very effective. Like Woody was saying, they were just killing on the pass rush. And if I'm Arizona, I'm doing the same thing.
Oh.
I'm throwing the kitchen sink at Caleb every time because we know the offensive line can't hold. And if the offensive line can't hold, and you force Caleb to throw early or throw erratically, then he's not going to connect with guys, and it's going to be a very long day for the Bears.
And here's another thing we haven't talked about: the penalties.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, how many false starts are we going to get? That kills us.
That killed us.
I mean, what Poles needs to be doing is not only calling teams. I'll be looking at like Detroit. We know they got a fantastic offensive line. You know what? I'm looking at their guys in the practice squad.
So, but you can do that anytime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where he should be. We have injuries. This is a major concern for our team right now.
I guess here's the question, because like you can do the practice squad signs after the trade deadline. I mean, you can technically make a trade after the trade deadline if they clear waivers, right? Do the waiver trades. But between now and election day, election day is also the NFL trade deadline. So look, if the only thing that you're going to know on election day, you're not going to know who the next president of the United States is, but you will know all the moves that were made in the NFL because a trade deadline. Do you think
Pulse is actively doing anything right now?
So the question is, what do you think the odds are between now and Tuesday of the Bears making a move, and what do you think that move will be?
Oh man,
I think Khalil Herbert is gone. He's going to get something for him. Dallas definitely could use him. I think it's going to be a package for one of their own line guys. I'm not necessarily saying Dallas, but one of these teams, Jacksonville. I know they got a 5 times Pro Bowler
they got
on that offensive line.
Well, yeah, they got Bigsby too. I don't think they're going to get a running back.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying for Herbert, but I'm saying, who Nate Davis maybe a package. Just eat the fucking money. I don't, who knows? Because he ain't playing no time. He's not doing anything for anybody on this team except for collecting millions of dollars to sit on his ass.
What do you think, Woody?
I think we stand still on defense.
Yeah, defense for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind maybe another corner.
I wouldn't mind a corner. I think we stand kind of still on defense too, unless maybe there's a good corner that we could pick up with the injury concerns we have now. The only thing that would have changed my mind is obviously something of a Garrett came available. Yeah, you take a swing at him and pair him up with Montez. I mean, that would make sense. But I'm thinking. I agree with you, Mike, more now than at the beginning of the season about Herbert, just because they haven't used him at all. And it's obvious that this is all Swift and Roshan. And look at they cut Jones, who they were high on. They cut
Hey,
Game,
good job
right?
to Bayless getting signed by Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Congrats, dude.
And the Chargers just signed Sam Mustipher. Hey.
And they got rid of Blasting Game, which was kind of a surprise. But I
Yes.
could see Herbert being dealt if it's even I could even see him being dealt for just a draft pick to be honest.
Yeah.
I think if we make a trade as a buyer, so I don't think I don't think if we traded Herbert, it's because we're selling. It's just because we don't want to pay him at the end of the year, and we're not going to use him, so we're going to get rid of him and get something for it versus let him walk away at the end of the year. I think that's more what that would be. But I think we need to buy an offensive lineman, whether it be a guard or a tackle. I'd rather have a guard that has some tackle experience on the left side, maybe more than the right side. Even those, because maybe then you could use him with Jenkins and make it a rotation between the two, where we get more out of Jenkins that way.
Right.
Or when he is out, we don't feel it. So it doesn't have to be a starter. It could be a top end rotation guy. And I think
I would say a tackle and definitely a guard, because Jenkins has been hurt a couple times now. Bates is coming back from an injury.
But what are the odds you make two trades? Usually it's one and done.
Oh no, I'm saying just as a depth piece from a practice squad, you make one big trade for a tackle, and you go to who's got the good. San Francisco's got great O-line, right? Detroit's got a good one. There's teams out there who they got practice guys that I'm sure that can play.
Well, I mean, I agree with you about raising practice.
You're right. You can sign them at any time.
Yeah,
but this is like a crucial moment right now because we do have injuries stacking.
I mean, obviously they're not going to do anything for this week, or they would probably already would have done it. Wednesday's come and gone. You've got full practice tomorrow. You've got a practice or a walk through Friday, and then Friday they're on an airplane, right?
And as far as on the defensive side, if you want to go get that edge, you're only doing that if Detroit is going after more Green Bay, right?
Because the guy the Vikings got, I mean, if we could have made that trade,
then Cam Robinson.
We take him from the Vikings and we strengthen our line and take away from them. That would have been great. I was like, man, Ryan Poles, why didn't you make that trade? And what did you give up, a third or a fourth rounder? We could have done that easy. The thing is, we got an extra second rounder to give away.
We'll give you a fourth and a third.
Yeah, I mean,
a future third, something.
So we'll talk more about Sunday's game, obviously Sunday pregame, but I am concerned about the injuries as well. I mean, they could still make a trade this week, but whoever they trade for now, obviously probably won't play in Sunday. They may be there. They might not even suit up. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you're an edge, you're going to play.
Yeah, if you're an edge, but if you're like a lineman, you're probably not playing.
No, you're not playing.
Or a corner, you're probably not playing. So right now we're going with what we got. Look at Owens and the guys who filled in on defense. I think they did a great job, but the pass rush was a little affected. I love that they bended but didn't break. And believe it, Washington fans had a lot of respect for them as well. For me, it's the focus is still on the offensive line. It's where it's been all year.
Well, who do we want to trade for? What position?
Tackle. Line.
Okay, because we're always wrong. So I say linebacker.
We don't need another linebacker.
Well, I'm just saying we're always wrong.
Mike,
so.
No, you see what Woody's throwing down. I agree, Woody. We need a linebacker. We need a linebacker.
We just took Jacob Martin. We got him.
He's not getting it, Woody.
He's not getting it.
No,
we're always wrong, Mike. We got to say the opposite.
Oh. Yeah, y'all. I thought y'all were serious. I was like, really?
No, come on, man.
We need to trade for another.
You know what? We need a fullback. That's what we need.
Yeah, we need.
Curry, come back.
We need a pair of tight ends as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, yeah, just rub it in.
Yeah.
Well,
They need
it's
another
not,
wide receiver.
this. I think what the stats I seen with Arizona last week. I know they played Miami. Their tight end McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. combined, they had 240 yards
Yeah.
passing.
McBride had 10
Which-
catches for 124 yards.
You know,
So
for
I
a
want
tight
to see
end, that's
more.
awesome.
I want to see more Cole Kmet. I think when we didn't use Cole Kmet much. Hey, good evening, Yoli.
What's up,
Yoli, you're late.
We didn't use Cole Kmet much in the game, but when we get Cole Kmet involved in the passing game, good things happen for this offense.
Cole Kmet, in the middle of the field or on the outside the numbers, he's got great hands.
And
And
it was
look at-
slow, but he's got great hands.
and it was National Tight End Day last Sunday.
Yeah,
He only got one catch.
and here's the thing: we didn't talk about this yet. We've got about 2 minutes. Cole Kmet had some things to say post game
Yep.
this week about players maybe sloughing off in the weight room and like, what's up, Yoli?
What's up,
You-
Yoli?
You know, he had some. So maybe they were sloughing off a little bit too in the weight room, and this was like Cole was able to take some leadership, and maybe we'll see a change on the field because of Cole's words.
Well, did you guys
What
watch
do you think he says,
the
Aaron
press
Rodgers?
conference with Moore today? Did you guys watch the press conference?
I
No.
missed it. I heard it.
Okay, DJ said that this is a player-led team.
Yeah, I saw
Right.
that comment.
Yeah, that it's led by the captains on that team. They make a decision, and that's what they go with. And then they inform the coaches this is what they're going to go with. So I don't know if Flus is losing the locker room. But some of those guys, they threw him on the Jalen Johnson threw him underneath the bus. He was on the score yesterday morning. He threw his ass underneath the bus.
These captains that you're talking about, Mike, did they tell him Tyreek Stevenson to start taunting off the crowd?
No,
Stupid.
I like.
but that's
I
where
like-
it comes down to coaching. Hey,
Yeah.
I
time
like
out.
Flus-
That fucking idiot over there needs to stop jawing at the fans. Get his ass off my field.
Yeah.
I
Go sit on
like
the bench.
I like Flus overall and what he's done for the franchise since he got here. The way he's changed the defense. He's definitely. You can feel the culture. But he's got. I agree with you. If we're going to be player led, he still has to hold them accountable, and maybe that's where maybe Cole's saying what he does. Maybe holds Flus accountable too, and he kind of goes, "Okay, guys, I thought you were good. Maybe you're not." You know, some of that might be where Flus thought he had something he didn't have. Does that
I like
make
to
sense?
think they told Tyreek, all the captains told Tyreek, stand right there. Where do you want it at? And they just took a shot at hitting the damn guy.
Wow.
I mean,
There you go. Then nobody ever talks about it. He'll never do it again.
there were some other interesting things that came out, like about Ben Johnson and this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But I like what Flus has done for this franchise so far. We're still 4-3. If we win 9 to 10 games, I'm happy, and I'll keep looking for improvement the following year. I mean,
You got to beat Green Bay.
they're doing overall, I'm not displeased. There are moments that I'm displeased about. I think all three of us are. But on the overall, I'm not really displeased. We're 4-3. We're kind of where we said we'd be at this point of the year.
We should be 6 and or no
6-1.
6
We
and
could
1.
be 6-1 if certain things were done differently. That's where we're displeased.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, we're not. I mean, I don't think any of us are displeased about being in the position, being where we are now compared to last year.
Actually, we should be 5-2 because we should have lost to Tennessee week 1.
Yeah.
So,
Little
but
give and
still,
take.
5-2, 4-3. You know.
A little give and take. So, hey guys,
Those-
don't forget tomorrow morning. 'Cause we got about a minute left. Let me get through this real quick, and we'll get a final thought with Mike.
No.
Tomorrow morning,
Yep,
10
you're
in
good.
the morning, at 10 a.m. Central. Right after the show, the roundtable with JB will be on. They're going to go through the entire league and do their predictions. And then we'll be back here Sunday at 11 a.m. Central. That's noon on the East Coast for Bears pregame before the Arizona game. Go ahead, Mike. What you're going to say? We got about 30 seconds.
No, we're talking about the head coach. I don't want a first-year head coach, but that's another talk for another day.
Sounds like something we can talk about on Sunday a little bit. Maybe.
For sure. I got a name in mind.
So
Oh,
we got about 15 seconds. Got anything?
Yep. We got to play a lot better against Arizona. I think they are overall. Maybe their defense better, maybe even or a little bit better than Washington with their weapons on offense. So got to keep it going.
That's it, guys. We're out of here. There's gonna be no outro.